Over 5,600 players came with dreams of becoming poker's next world champion.
Come on in, the water's warm.
Wow! Oh yeah! But after 3 grueling days, dreams quickly became nightmares for some of the game's greats.
I'm just getting sick of this bull.
And in their place, new challengers arose.
Yeah! River Flush, I love you!
Almost 2,000 players remain, and the stars that have survived must find new ways to thrive.
Now that we taught everybody how to beat us, we got to adjust to that.
I'm willing to take a lot more chances to take advantage of people's inexperience.
Will an unknown emerge from the field and challenge for the most coveted title in poker? Yes! Or will experience prevail? The marathon continues. Day 2 starts now.
Yes!
Welcome to the main event of the 2005 World Series of Poker presented by Milwaukee's Best Life. In the Rio Poker Room, some top names are still alive, including world champions Greg Raymer, Dan Harrington, and Chris Moneymaker. Currently second in chips beginning today is the man who finished second to Moneymaker, Sam Farhall, looking to make a return to the final table. But our current chip leader is far from a household name. Haakon Waerstad from Norway, the day 1 leader with 169,000 chips. But no day 1 chip leader has ever won the main event, and with over 56 million chips in play, he's got a long way to go to make history.
Hello everybody, I'm Lon McCarron alongside Norman Chad. Today marks the official beginning of day 2 of the main event, and even though we have almost 4,000 players already out the door, we still have over 1,800 left in the field.
With these mind-boggling numbers, Lon, just surviving day 1 was a monumental task for some. Consider the case of 5-time bracelet winner Layne Flack. He showed up late because he was sick. He then went home at midday to puke his brains out, then came back to accumulate a pile of chips for what he hopes will be a run to his first ever main event final table.
4 of Layne's 5 bracelets came in Holda, 1 in Omaha High-Low.
You're welcome. I think I've lost more pots than I've won.
But you still got all your money.
Fellow pro Paul Darden looking longingly at Layne Flack's chip stack.
As you mentioned, Norman, Layne Flack went home sick for a few hours on day 1. Of course, he's going to lose more hands than he won, but looking good right now with over 70,000 chips.
I'm going to play a little different.
Layne says he's going to mix it up today. And on the Milwaukee's Best Light pocket cam, 10-7 offsuit.
Crawl.
Calls the big blind.
Sometimes when he mixes it up, Layne wins bracelets, and sometimes he blows up. He has a tendency to blow up sometimes late in tournaments.
King 4 of spades of David Helmold, and he will make the call. On the left, that is Craig Crivello. He's got 5-3 offsuit in the hole in the small blind. And he will come into the hand as well. Big blind gives it up.
And that was the option I had.
He didn't have to give it up.
He didn't even want to see the flop.
He didn't realize there had been no raise.
That was the second worst play I've seen today.
A lot of I had a nickel for every time I did that. I gotta tell you, I'd have a lot of nickels.
3 to the flop. Crivello gets the best of it, pairing his 5. He checks.
12.
Layne Flack goes with 1,200 with nothing.
Cold.
Gets Helmold out of the way.
Raise.
Crivello is going to raise it up now to 3,200.
Well, he tells Layne, I may be nobody, but I can smell 10 high from 6 feet away.
Raise.
Oh. What does that tell Crivello? It's 10,000 now, back to Crivello.
Why so much?
Because he's Layne Flack, and he can smell weakness from 60 feet away. Crivello did make a final table here at the World Series earlier this year.
Crivello folds and shows his 5s to Layne Flack, who won with 10-7 offsuit.
Show him the bluff.
Show me a bluff.
You're supposed to show the bluff. There you go. Bluff or rule. Oh, baby, show the bluff.
You're a victim of the camera. I don't do that any other time.
Whatever Layne's selling, I ain't buying.
For the first time, the entire main event field does not have to be split up, all playing under the same roof.
Please don't show a pair.
And one of them, Gus Hansen, the great Danish player, is all in early in the day.
He just showed up. This is his first hand, and he is in trouble.
Hansen has been pretty much missing in action throughout this World Series, but he did show up to play in the main event.
Good luck, guys.
Hansen needing some help on the river and does not get it, and he is gone in one hand and out in one hand.
Give it to me, baby, please!
Barry Paskin, the screaming Barry Paskin.
Give me, give me, give me, give me! Give me!
He will not and
Give me!
cannot be ignored.
Give me! Yes! I was given nothing,
He's still with us.
but it was still enough. Hallelujah, Lord! You shut up! I play my game, you play yours.
I believe shut up was correct.
And there is William Rockwell, the courageous man who lost the use of his arms years ago in a motorcycle accident, continues to play poker now with his feet only.
A little nervous, can you tell?
We did make it through day one, but that's just the first hurdle. There's a long way to go.
Yeah, you guys, we're gonna have to pick it up a little bit.
Oh, well, I can't have that, my God.
You're not bluffing enough, Layne.
Hell, I'm not.
Layne looked so much better today. On day one, he looked like the dread Pirate Roberts in The Princess Bride after being tortured in the pit of despair.
Inconceivable.
He was mostly dead.
17.
Hey, y'all, watch this one.
Queen 6 suited, raises to 1,700.
Richardson folded correctly there. See, he learns quickly.
Didn't cost him a dime either. Pocket jacks for Kevin Lazaro from Aurora, Ohio. He's going to raise it up.
6,000 straight.
If I'm playing against Layne Flack, I don't want him to see the flop because after the flop, he's going to outplay you every day and twice on Sunday. I don't know why twice on Sunday, but that's the way it works.
You done?
Well, Lazaro tried to push him out with the 6,000 chip raise, but Layne is right there with him.
He's making a loose call with his Queen 6 suited.
So 2 players to the flop. It's King Deuce 4. Lazaro still with a big lead with his jacks.
Check.
Lazaro checks.
Don't look at me like that.
Layne needs no sidekick. He's a great one-man act.
That one come out of your sleeve?
Yeah. King on the turn does not help Layne Flack, but he bet 6,000.
He wants to push Lazaro out right now.
I'll raise.
Raise.
Lazaro makes it 10,000 more to Layne Flack.
I thought Layne might be done after Lazaro raised pre-flop. Now I think he probably should be done with this raise from Lazaro.
And Flack does fold it.
Now I'm pissed.
Lazaro takes the hand, and Flack tries to keep from blowing up.
Here comes tilt.
Is the fuse lit?
The 2005 World Series of Poker is presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, brewed for a man's taste. Miller Brewing Company, and in part by Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's forward. Toyota, moving forward. Levitra, ask your doctor about it today. Levitra, when it counts. And Harris Entertainment, home of the world's richest poker tournaments.
Welcome back to the 2005 World Series of Poker main event. Greg Raymer still looking very strong, taking in a lot more chips with that hand.
Fossil Man the first to survive day one the year after winning the main event since '99 champion Noel Furlong did it.
He played better, I got lucky.
Well, to be world champion, you have to get lucky once in a while. 95 main event champ Dan Harrington in his trademark Red Sox cap.
Ask yourself, what's the cost of fame?
Harrington is all in and uncharacteristically trying to goad his opponent into making this
I know,
call.
but it's worth going after. You'll be on TV. Even if you lose, you'll be on TV.
See, I don't play
Dan's talking his ear off. So the newly cagey Dan Harrington did not get a call from his opponent, but he will take the pot.
Harrington improbably trying to make his third straight main event final table.
2002 main event champ Robert Varconi was knocked out early, but watching his wife Olga Varconi, who collected almost 81,000 chips in her first day, she is still alive here in day 2.
She's a former English teacher, translator, and interpreter. Her husband taught her how to play.
Doing a tremendous job in her first World Series. And there's Barbara Enright, the only woman to make a main event final table. She folds this hand.
She made the main event final table the year that Harrington won his title.
Started today with 15,000 chips, but she's given some of those away.
Now we can play some poker. I get nervous in front of all these people.
Layne started playing poker in Billings, Montana, so he's not used to a big crowd.
Got it for 1,800 here in this field today. Paul Darden gives it up. Action on Mark Loam. 5-4 suited in clubs.
21.
2,100 chips. Over to Layne Flack. 8-7 offsuit.
Raise them up.
This is raise it.
Jeez. He is in a frisky mood today.
7,000 chips.
Must be the Robitussin.
Back to Loam.
Raise.
Raise.
Got a couple of low clubs. He says raise.
I love that raise, Lon. Layne was just splashing around, and now Loam tells him you've got to pay a splashing around tax, and I don't think Layne's going to pay.
10,000 more. And Layne
Call.
pushes it right in.
Lon, punch me when I'm right.
Flack will take an advantage to the flop with his 8 high. And the flop comes 6, 10, 3, couple of hearts. Both pick up straight draws.
Layne's still best with 8 high.
Check.
Okay.
They both check.
Both happy to see a free card.
Ace of hearts. Flack now with 4 hearts to go with his straight draw. Loam first to act.
He, of course, does not have a heart in his hand.
He's got 5-4 of clubs, and he bets 9,000 on the offensive again.
He wants Layne Flack to go away, but Layne's going to call.
He does indeed. So Flack with the advantage to the river, and Flack gets his river flush. With Loam first to act, still with nothing. He's going to push 12,000.
The great thing about that bet, Loam knows he can't win unless he bets. The bad thing, Layne Flack made a flush.
I call.
And Flack will make the call, of course. Loam says, I got nothing, but doesn't want to show it.
He wants to give his cards over to goodwill. Layne makes him show it. And then Layne shows his winning flush.
Nice call. I did not all the way, didn't I?
No, but he had the heart to play some bad cards.
Flack back to his old self today after a rough start to the main event.
Okay, day 1, I was pretty sick. And my head was just throbbing. I couldn't move, I couldn't anything. I actually called down and I withdrew from the tournament. Then my girlfriend went down there and said, you gotta let him change days. They said no. And so that pissed me off. So I said, all right, sign me back up. And I showed up like 3.5 hours late.
Rough day, boys.
I couldn't see across the table. Just sweat, just pouring off me.
I always say I gotta be in a coma for him to beat me, but I'm close.
I was this close to giving up. I said, I can't do it.
Sick as a dog.
And then I won like a hand to get to 4,000, then I doubled up to 8. And then I got to like 10, 11, 12, 13, and then doubled up with a set of aces to a set of 10s to 28. I said, good night.
I'm going to bed, boys.
I showed up like 3.5 hours later again.
How much time we got left in the day?
I mean, I knew chips made people chirp. I'll tell you what, they make you healthy too.
This game is so easy.
I think day 2 is going to be a lot more productive.
Constantly challenging myself.
First place, a lot of money. I try not to think about what I'll do. I may quit poker. Probably not.
Flack already made 2 final tables at this year's World Series. He'd gladly give them back to make this one.
Many pros rate Layne Flack as the best player in any room that he's playing, so he certainly has the talent to win the main event. Howard Lederer, 55,000 chips to start the day, and he takes a nice pot here.
He made the main event final table the first year he played. He hasn't made it back since.
Marcel Luske started the day at 8,100 chips, but if anyone could come back from a slow start, it is the man from Holland.
Hey, this is how Marcel is supposed to look. By the way, I lent him that jacket.
Very nice. And there's one of the great poker minds, Chip Reese, having a great day here in day 2.
Probably no one more consistent than Chip Reese in the big cash games the last 20 years. He doesn't play that many tournaments.
And our 2003 World Champion Chris Moneymaker is all in. Don't give it to him, on a chair.
Yeah, if you're the former World Champion, do not stand on a chair and call out for cards.
Heart! No heart! Heart!
He's in trouble going to the river. And Chris Moneymaker does not get his card and has been eliminated. He did not make it to day 1 last year. And goes out early here on day 2 in 2005.
Kenna James bade some farewell. You know that old expression, Ron, better one day as a lion than 100 years as a lamb. Chris had a great day 2 years ago.
Chris Moneymaker gone now, but never forgotten.
The World Series of Poker presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. Main event.
Welcome back to Las Vegas, and we look in at the outer tables. Mike Mattisau, who had a rough day 1 on a number of fronts.
He sat out for a while because of a profanity penalty. Since then, though, he's been very focused, playing real well.
He's thrown in a bet here and forces his opponent out, and happy about it.
I just never have a hand, so I got to steal my money.
Marcel flashes an ace-queen. His 10,000 chip bet was enough to force his opponent out. So Mike getting a little healthier now. There is Dutch Boyd. Dutch had a pretty good day one, has a nice set of chips to play with.
He is the only member of the crew making any noise here in the main event.
Dutch's 10,000 chip bet is called, and then Dutch turns over the better cards, and he'll take the pot. He finished 12th in 2003, trying to improve on that this year. And there is William Rockwell. William involved in a hand now in the outer tables as well. We watched William on day one barely make it through. He ended up with just 5,000 chips. And also watching William is his mom, Darlene. She must be feeling very proud of her son, who has progressed so far after the tragedy that cost William the use of his arms 15 years ago.
I lost the use of my arms in a motorcycle accident in 1990, I believe. I was being a teenager, going a little too fast on the wrong road. I hit the side of a 1979 Cadillac, doing between 90 and 120 miles an hour. Really should have been dead. Took me about 2 years to learn how to do everything with my feet. I could take my own showers, I could feed myself with my feet, I could write with my feet. My main goal here was to come here and make it to the final day. If I can make it to the final table, I'm going to donate the greater portion of my winnings to my foundation. I created rockwellfoundation.org, which is our foundation website. We want to create things for people without their arms. We want to create things for people without their legs. We want to do things for physically challenged people that nobody else is doing. Simple as that. I feel like I've conquered my disability and turned it into an ability. I think it's a great thing for someone like myself to come in and be able to play poker and actually stick in there with the big boys. It's a great thing. It's pretty incredible, you know? I mean, it really is. It is. It's the most incredible thing that's ever happened to me, you know? And, you just can't be more happy to still be in it, you know? No matter what happens, I think I accomplished my goal.
The inspirational story of William Rockwell continues to unfold here at the World Series of Poker. Still in it. He might reassess those goals the deeper he gets into this tournament. Back to our feature table. Players have been shuffled around. Layne Flack is still here, but he's now sitting in seat 1. Albert Trigo has joined this featured table, and he welcomed to the table pocket aces.
Just in time for Trigo. He is running out of chips.
Born in Havana, Cuba, now lives in Miami. And he's going all in with 6,600. Action on Layne Flack with pocket sixes.
66. Layne has one of the more playful and casual poker postures you'll ever see at a table.
6,600 men.
Flack will make the call with his sixes.
600.
2 other players to act. 1 folds. They both fold.
66, 66, 66,
It's got to be a tell.
66, 66.
He might have sixes.
It seemed fitting, 66.
I think Layne would have called it even if it were 67.
All right, Trigo and Flack to the flop, and Flack gets a set of sixes. Wow.
Yeah, the problem for Trigo, Lon, is he didn't have enough chips to protect his hand, and now his best hope is an ace.
It's a 9 on the turn, nothing for Trigo, needs help real quick.
Trigo down possibly to his last card of this main event. He needs an ace and an ace only.
And the river is a deuce, and that finishes it off. Layne Flack wins the hand, pocket sixes, and eliminates Albert Trigo in the process. Wow. Is he lucky or is he that good?
He's that good and lucky.
What's that?
One-man wrecking crew.
They call Layne Flack a one-man wrecking crew, and indeed he is. You know, Brunson, Chan, and Helmuth are all out of this tournament.
Hello.
But Shannon Elizabeth, the actress, is still in it.
If it matters, I don't know if you can hear me, Lon, but I like long romantic walks on the beach at sunset, and I like the occasional canister of Pringles.
Man, you're setting yourself up for a bad beat. Sam Farhouse still looking strong.
I got a lot of pictures. I took pictures of every single one I busted.
That's like putting up the moose head over the mantle.
I might get a picture of you.
Sammy likes pictures of his fallen victims.
He's threatening to take a picture of this guy.
About 5.
Sam's got plenty of chips. His opponent's only got about 5,000 left.
I gotta take a picture of you, buddy. I might lose
All
it.
in call 137.
Sammy makes the call. His opponent shows him he's holding 3 aces. Sammy on a flush draw.
The duck will get you right here, buddy. Yeah.
Sammy hits the flush on the turn.
Get my camera. Hold on.
And he's pulling out the camera.
Well, Layne Flack just cracked aces on the main table, and now Sammy Farha cracking aces over here.
Yeah. I gotta put you on my website.
SuaveUnleadCigarette.com.
Well,
Have you seen it? That sucks.
The great Sam Farha takes down another player here at the main event. Troubles are brewing with Barry Paskin.
I was called away by probably the tournament director who told me, no, it's very important to me. I can't play my hand until I deal with the issue, okay? I've been told that I was pulled away and I lost my ante because I had a personal hygiene problem. I shower today, I wear this shirt as a lucky memento and I don't wash it. And if it smells of sweat and hard work, that's a shame. But it's an insult to be told that, and I've been told I've got to take a shower in the break.
Go ahead, let's play the hand.
Show me in the rules where it says about smelling. I need to see it in the rules where it says about smelling. Is it in the rules about smelling though? Be honest.
I don't think there's anything in the rules about smelling bad, but there should be something in the rules about this guy.
You just want to tilt me.
It's working. Paskin's smelly and angry. Welcome back to the Rio.
But dealers make a complaint, he smells too much.
I do smell, but you know, like a tiger.
Will not give up that smelly shirt.
If you went to the zoo and saw an animal and it smelled, would you report it to the zookeeper?
This isn't the zoo.
I don't know.
Definitely a different Barry Paskin. Tone down and fold. Adam Schoenfeld trying to make some money this year.
He smells good, but he's still 0 for the World Series. He's never cashed here.
Adam has been unable to add to his chip stack today. And 95 World Champ Dan Harrington folds that hand, but one hand he's glad he did not fold 10 years ago gave him a World Championship, as we learned in this edition of The Best Hand I Ever Played.
It is a big accomplishment being acknowledged as the best player in the world, at least for 1 year.
That year was 1995 when Dan Harrington went heads up against Howard Goldfarb at the final table of the main event. Dan was the chip leader and waiting for Goldfarb to make a move.
He was a very active player, and I knew he was ready to do something.
8-6 deuce with 2 clubs. And checks.
With my 9-8, it gave me top pair. I was very confident I had the best hand, and I knew if I bet, he probably would throw the hand away. I wanted to give him a chance to bluff.
And checks.
He's moving on.
Our bet's about 600,000.
He put all his money in the center of the pot very quickly.
This is it. Dan calls.
This is it. Dan calls. I was positive he was bluffing.
Dan Harrington's our 1995 World Champion.
All right. The hand obviously was important to me, and it made me world champion. There was a lot of satisfaction in winning the tournament. Maybe it'll happen again.
The Best Hand I Ever Played is available in bookstores. Tell them I sent you. It won't do you any good, but it sounds good.
Double the price, maybe. Back to our feature table. They have shuffled players around. Layne Flack remains here at this feature table, but joined by a couple of heavy hitters. Joe Beavers, a renowned member of poker's Hendon Mob, and 24-year-old Michael Mizrahi, already with a major win under his belt. And on the Milwaukee's Best Light pocket cam, he's got Queen 9 of diamonds.
Every time I raise something, they re-raise them. I don't know, you know what I'm raising.
He's going to raise it up anyway to 3,500.
Good point.
That prompts a number of folds behind him.
I'm gonna have to switch to the grinder this one.
The grinder changing hats.
Yeah, change it up.
Whatever works. First prize here is $7.5 million.
Action on Tom Sartori. Sartori in his first World Series of Poker, Ace-Jack of Spades.
Call.
He's going to make the call.
He plays in a band, and maybe in the headsets right now, he's listening to his own stuff.
I would not blame him. Action behind Sartori is on Joe Beavers. And Beavers will give it up. And so Mizrahi and Sartori to the flop. Sartori with the advantage with the ace high. And the flop comes 8-3. Jack. Sartori pairs his jack, but Mizrahi with a straight draw.
Grinder checks. Sartori throws down 9 yellow chips, equals 9,000. Mizrahi raises to 20,000.
Mizrahi, known for his aggressive play, has won a WPT title.
It's a good hand.
Sartori wastes very little time to make that big call. Sartori now with the advantage to the turn. It's a king, nothing there for the grinder. Sartori still leads.
The jacks are still best for Sartori. Mizrahi still on a draw.
Mizrahi still pushing now, 20,000 chips.
Call.
And Sartori calls right away.
The grinder cannot like to hear, see, or smell that.
Boy, that grinder hat's not working. River is a jack. Sartori's persistence pays off. 3 jacks now for him.
Will Mizrahi take another stab at this pot? He's fired twice.
Checking.
Mizrahi checks this time.
Come on.
All in.
Sartori's the one pushing.
Sartori goes all in. Mizrahi has no hand. He missed his straight draw. It's not a question of if he mucks his hand, it's when he mucks his hand.
The grinder right now just trying to save face, representing that he had a hand. And Mizrahi gives it up, but he had to put in 43,000 chips before he folded. And so World Series rookie Tom Sartori takes a nice pot.
What a draw.
Yeah, like the draw I had in my 3rd marriage. Wasn't much of a draw, just a cut shot. Who's he kidding?
All right, let's move to the outer tables to check on some other action. Those are the chips of 22-year-old James Pollock. The good news is he is among the chip leaders. He's been a force here at the Rio. 186,000 chips right now. The bad news is, James, you're sitting next to Phil Ivey.
Always my pick to win this thing. I like going out on a limb.
Right now, Pollock and Ivey are involved in a hand. Pollock throws in the chips. Ivey throws in his cards. A lot of young players might shrink next to Phil Ivey, but Pollock is giving him a run for his money. On another table, Olga Varconi collecting more chips. Talk about a force.
Atta girl.
It's the wife of 2002 main event champ Robert Varconi, and some of the links from his World Championship bracelet are now earrings for her. And Marcel Luske looks like is moving all in.
Luske, the last 2 years, each time nearly made the final table, but right now he could be down to his last hand of this main event.
Marcel turns over pocket paint, and he does not look like the life of the party. A deuce on the turn, and now the river card, and that gives Marcel's opponent a 10-high straight, and Marcel's been eliminated.
And Marcel graciously pointing out that the straight has beaten him. He shows us the straight.
Marcel had high hopes in 2005's main event.
Thank you, guys.
But he goes home early.
The World Series of Poker presented by Milwaukee's Best Light.
All play here at the Rio has stopped as everyone says so long to Dan Harrington, who has been eliminated.
Harrington had made back-to-back main event final tables. He will not make it a 3rd straight time this year.
Also on the ropes is actor Shannon Elizabeth.
Yes!
And Shannon does see her hopes go up in flames with that river card. Shannon's opponent makes a straight and eliminates her.
Can you excuse me for a minute, Lon? I'll be right back.
I can understand.
Shannon?
Barbara Enright looks like she's heading out the door as well, but she takes a pause to look. She actually wins the hand.
Boy, she was all packed up and halfway to Reno.
Never underestimate Barbara Enright. She's got great poker instincts, and she's trying to use those honed skills to make a return appearance to the main event final table.
I was playing poker before poker was cool.
This is the first time that a lady has gotten to the finals of the World Series of Poker.
I wasn't thinking about gender. That, oh, I'm a woman and no woman has ever done this before. That's great. I didn't think about that.
Barbara's all in against Brent. Barbara's got 2 8s. Brent has 6 straight diamonds.
Barbara is a huge favorite in this spot.
Oh, boy.
I was just focused on, winning the World Series.
Oh, my God. That was a horrible beat.
I still can't get over it. Every time I watch the video, I'm hoping the flop will change.
Frank Carter wins a hand with 6
Oh, what a way to go.
At the time, all I was thinking was I deserved to finish higher. Looking back now, there's more of a sense of pride than there was at the time. I think if a woman wins the main event, it would probably bring even more women into poker. I'm not used to winning with the best hand, but I don't look at gender really. I'm just another poker player, just doing the best I can.
Enright has won the ladies event here twice, and the year after she made the final table in the main event, she won a bracelet in pot limit hold'em, 1996.
A very dangerous player indeed, still left in this big field. Back at our featured table, Michael Mizrahi. Couple of kings in the hole. Grinder reaching for chips. He's going to raise it up to 4,000. Layne Flack, queen deuce. Hey, not going to play?
Layne is contractually obligated to play rags 6 times per hour, no more, no less.
Over to Tom Sartori with ace jack of clubs.
Call.
And he's going to be in this hand with Mizrahi again.
Sartori had ace jack suited last time they tangled.
Rest of the table folds, and so Mizrahi and Sartori will go heads up with Mizrahi's kings in the lead. To the flop, it is 10, jack 10. Sartori pairs his jack, but he trails the kings up with Mizrahi. Mizrahi first to act. 4,000. Sartori, 4-1 underdog right now.
I'm gonna raise. Raise.
Well, Sartori is a very good musician. Not as good of a poker player, but he's played well here. However, he's raising with the worst hand at the moment.
15.
It's 15,000 more to Mizrahi.
The grinder learned a lot of poker from his older brother, Robert, also a very fine player.
All right.
Raise.
And a re-raise from Mizrahi. 20,000 to Sartori.
How much you got left?
Mizrahi can't like that question.
About 70. 90 total.
Sartori's got it covered.
I'm all in.
And Sartori's going to bet to put Mizrahi all in.
And it's actually a tough decision for the grinder. Yeah, I'd turn my cap around too and probably hail the next taxi out of this hand. If Sartori just has a 10 in his hand, the grinder's all but gone.
I call.
And he makes the call. This is our degree all-in moment with Michael Mizrahi at
10.
risk.
That's why he's the grinder and I'm the grinded. He made the proper read. He's well ahead in the hand.
And now Sartori sees he's in danger of losing a lot of his chips.
Sartori got the better of the grinder in that last hand we saw. He's trying to knock him out right now, but Mizrahi ahead in the hand.
And now the turn card is a 9, does not help Sartori. Grinder still ahead.
Mizrahi's pocket kings even stronger. Sartori can still knock him out of this main event with an ace or a jack on the river.
River card is a queen!
Yes!
Mizrahi earns that degree check mark, winds up with a king-high straight, doubles up through the rookie Tom Sartori.
Nice hand, man.
The river card could have killed off Mizrahi. Instead, he's living large now.
They just don't realize how often you just play the nuts, huh? I mean, it just doesn't matter.
Layne Flack maybe trying to get inside Mizrahi's head for the next time they go heads up. The grinder now with over 180,000 chips and heading in the right direction.
The all-in moment is brought to you by New Degree for Men. For men who take risks, it won't let you down. The Toyota Points Leader is brought to you by Toyota. Choose any direction, as long as it's forward. Toyota, moving forward.
Taking a look at our Toyota Player of the Year standings. All of the players in the top 10 have been knocked off. Alan Cunningham leads everybody. Still a few players left in the field, but a strong finish could take over the top spot. One player who finished 5th on that leaderboard last year is Howard Lederer, still in this thing, still trying to make his way back to the final table, and he collects a lot of chips there.
He's got enough chips now, so maybe he can buy a button-down shirt he can wear in public.
Howard Lederer looking to work his way back to a main event final table, as is Greg Raymer.
We'll play the next one.
Raymer inducing his opponent to fold. Every time you look at him, he's getting more chips.
And Fossilman just looks self-assured.
The defending champion defending his title very well. Mike Mattisau in a hand on one of the outer tables. The flop comes out. Mattisau with a pair of aces. His opponent with a 7-8 is all in.
His opponent all in with an up and down straight draw.
And his opponent gets the straight on the turn.
Give their money away and the deck gets them out.
Yeah, Mike went in with the best cards, but ends up losing that pot. His opponent sitting right next to him looks absolutely terrified of Mattisau.
I'm terrified of him. I'm sitting all the way over here.
Here you go, I doubled you up. Played it well.
This is the new Mike, same as the old Mike.
Action now back to our featured table. Layne Flack had been active early on, but been rather quiet recently.
Layne says that he wants to be known as one of the last of the true gamblers, Lon. In fact, when he started playing in a Montana casino, he was playing 5-card stud. He doesn't look old enough to do that, but that's how long he goes back.
They don't even play that at the World Series anymore. Ace-5 of clubs for Flack. Raises it up to 4,000 over to Daniel Quach with King-Jack of hearts. He's going to make the call. Sartori says no thanks. Over to Joe Beavers, one of the most feared players in Europe. A couple of diamonds, 9-8. He makes the call. Action now to Vince Monaco. Ace-4 of spades.
Call. It's a bargain.
And he makes a call as well. 4 players to the flop. Flack and Monaco share the ace. Flack with the better kicker. And now the flop is 9, Ace-6. Flack and Monaco pair their ace. Beavers now with 2 9s. And he checks.
These guys don't look like they're playing for a $7.5 million first prize. Show some enthusiasm.
Monaco checks. Flack likewise.
Can these guys take any longer checking their hands?
They all check. Now the turn is an 8. Beavers now takes the lead. He's got 2 pair, 9s and 8s.
These guys look like they're waiting for their tires to be rotated at Midas. Show some enthusiasm.
Beavers with 7,000. He's letting his chips do the talking.
Well, Beavers does have the 2 pair.
Monaco with a pair of aces and a low kicker makes the call.
Layne with the aces, and he picked up a straight draw on the turn.
And now he makes the call. Are they coming to life? Watch folds. He had no shot. He was drawn dead. So now 3 players will go to the river. Beavers with the lead with his 2 pair. And now the river card. It's a king. Beavers gets the check mark. His 2 pair will win if he doesn't fold.
Let's see how this funeral procession unfolds.
Beavers slowly reaches for chips and flips in 7,000 more. Monaco.
I don't know if this is a tell or if he's just trying to get something out of his left ear.
Monaco with his aces, and he will make the call. Flack now makes the call too nonchalantly.
Got 9s and 8s.
It's time to show. Beaver shows his 2 pair.
Aces.
Monaco shows his losing hand. Why doesn't Layne show his losing hand too?
He flips it up if you're in the right position to see it. But Beavers wins the 3-way pot.
Something about that hand really bothered me, Ron. There's $7.5 million to be made. Why are they all looking like they're watching book notes on C-SPAN?
All right, action to the outer tables now, and we find a very nervous player in a hand against 5-time bracelet winner Phil Ivey, and he cannot hide that shaking from Ivey.
You doing it on purpose? The hand's shaking. Is that you doing it on purpose?
Didn't seem to be dinner theater acting.
Must have a good hand, but going up against Ivey will make anybody quake.
It's happening a lot. Stop now.
Phil says you can stop. I'm going to fold. Take the pot. That is probably one of the best tells we've seen in a long time here.
The hand's not shaking now as he takes in the chips.
Over to William Rockwell. He is getting low on chips. And he will fold that hand.
He's under 10,000.
That was sweet. That was sweet.
William Rockwell trying to survive day 2. And the Queen 10 of Barry Paskin, who's changed his shirt. He's all in, and he is all out, it looks like.
Wow. Oh, when he loses, he makes no noise? Well, I'll make some noise. Yes, 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 yes. See ya.
Barry Paskin eliminated from this main event. I think he seemed intent on wanting to leave an impression.
Thank you very much.
I believe he can say mission
Okay, then we're
accomplished.
gone.
It's going to be a lot quieter around here from now on.
The 2005 World Series of Poker is presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, brewed for a man's taste, Miller Brewing Company, and in part by New Degree for Men. With twice the protection you need, it won't let you down. And Harrah's Entertainment, home of the world's richest poker tournament.
Welcome back to the Rio, coming to the end of day 2. Adam Schoenfeld is all in.
Yes! Yes!
And Adam Schoenfeld is all out. And I don't think that the man who knocked him out quite knows the repercussions of what he's done.
Oh, jeez. My man, Adam Schoenfeld, now 0 for 25 in World Series tournaments. All outgoing, no incoming for him. I gotta buy dinner.
Let me get out the door. Okay.
Phil Ivey says, I just want to get out the door with my skin. He survived day 1, wants to survive day 2. Both he and James Pollock, though, are surviving quite well here.
It's the biggest hand I've had all day. I had 2 kings and ace king.
All day?
I had 2
I believe. Okay. Even that. I seriously had aces, ace king, ace queen, like back to back.
James Pollock right now, one of the top stacks in the room. Phil Ivey in about the middle of the pack.
I can't believe that's all you had all day.
Pollock says he is soon to be engaged, Lon. These kids, you can't talk sense into them.
And William Rockwell, as we mentioned, was getting low on chips. He's now all in.
You're 7. Come on, no aces.
Looking for some help on the river.
Come on, dealer. Come on, give it to me, dealer. Come on, dealer.
We'll hit it straight on you, boss.
And Rockwell does not get the card he needs, and he has been eliminated from this main event. William Rockwell has had a thrilling visit to the World Series of Poker. He dreamed of being here and then made it happen, and what a great job he did.
I'm happy. Made it to the second day, first World Series ever. Couldn't be happier, you know? Great.
It's been fun to have William here in the room and hope to see him back next year. All right, let's get back now to our featured table. Layne Flack, again, a roller coaster day. This could help. Ace-Jack of diamonds in the hole. He's going to raise it up to 6,600 chips.
A lot of chips can make you feel a lot better. Layne looked like he was on death's doorstep on day 1. Today, he's got a lot of pep in his step.
Action over to Terry Myers. A couple of 6s in the hole.
I already saw your face. The glasses won't do any good.
He calls himself Mr. Nobody from Yuma, Arizona. And he's going to do something.
Got a cat, got your tongue?
I raise.
It seems like a verbal string raise.
Damn cat.
The words I and raise should come in the same minute.
It's 15,000 total.
I hate that cat.
Layne with the same verbal string bet.
I think Layne almost enjoys putting chips in the pot as much as he enjoys taking them out of the pot.
Flack calls the extra 15,000, and he'll go heads up with Myers.
Is he talking to me?
Pretty much a coin flip going to the flop, and the flop is 3-7 Jack. Flack takes the lead with a pair of jacks. Myers to act first. 15,000. He's fallen in love with his 6s.
Yeah, well, Mr. Nobody is in no man's land right now because he's betting with the worst hand, and he gets an immediate call from Layne Flack.
Flack 10-1 advantage right now. The turn card is an ace, and Flack has paired both of his hole cards. Ace is up. Myers gets smart. They both check.
Layne doesn't want to advertise he has an ace.
River card is a deuce, which is a 0 from Myers. Flack has the best cards. Myers again fires with 15,000 chips.
Pretty much what Layne wanted to see. He slow played the aces up, hoped to get a bet out of Terry Myers, and he did.
Now Layne trying to figure how much more he can get out of Myers, and he raises it.
23?
Yes, sir. 23.
That raise of 23, a value bet by Layne. He's deduced that he might get a call from it.
And indeed he does. Layne flips over, his aces up, and Myers sees he's lost 68,000 chips on pocket sixes.
Very good hand.
Layne is always hard to read, and he played the turn and river there like the 5-time bracelet winner he is.
Hard to keep a good man down, that's what Did you just wink at me?
So Layne Flack ends day 2 a lot healthier than he did on day 1. On this very active day of poker at the Rio, we witnessed the sights.
Stop now.
The sounds.
Yes, sir!
And even the smells of the main event.
Show me in the rules where it says about smelling.
And by day's end, some of the game's greats were sent home. Cash game specialist Chip Reese went broke. Chris Moneymaker could not live up to his moniker again. And there will be no final table this year for Dan Harrington. But one world champ has dreams of a repeat. Greg Raymer climbed to 10th in chips today. From chip leader to a short stack, Haakon Waerstad endured the day, but he's a long shot to take the title. Rookie James Pollock not only survived sitting next to Phil Ivey, he thrived and ended the day 2nd in chips. Will a fresh face become the next World Series champion, or will one of poker's veterans claim the title? See you next time from the main event.